In this video, we will start by taking a look at a very important folder which is called the Pages folder. In MVC, we had models, views and controllers, but in Razor Pages, we only have one folder which is Pages. I still like the idea to separate out the data, but there is no longer separate folders for controllers and views because they do not exist here. We have a completely new concept called Razor Pages and Page Models. Now if we expand the Pages folder, we would see all the pages that we have in our application. Unlike views in MVC application, Razor Pages application have Razor Pages. Like you see, for our application, we have index, about and contact pages along with privacy and error. But we do not see any controller. And if we click on the index page, we only see the HTML. So where is all the things that happens behind the scene? In Razor Pages, we have something called as page model, which is specific to each page, which is responsible for all of the controller related actions that were there in the traditional MVC approach. So if you click the arrow next to the index.cshtml, you see index.cshtml.cs file. Now this is not the old code behind file which we had in the classic ASP.NET. It is just a naming convention. But this is actually called as the page model. And here you can see that we have an onGet method. Now methods in Razor Pages are actually called handlers. These are just the naming convention, so it's better if you get used to them. All of this might seem confusing at first, but as we proceed, you will see this is actually really simple. But for now, think that all Razor Pages will have their own page model where we will bind the page to any model or do everything that we have to do on the get and post handlers. Now if we are adding partial Razor Pages like partial views, we do not need a page model. Sometimes we just want to display something based on a value that we pass, like we used to inside the views, and we can still do that. But for now, we'll take baby steps and learn everything as we try to run along the process. Let's take a look at all the pages inside the shared folder. Now here we have the cookie consent partial view. And here it is just a view to make sure that whenever you run the website, first time it shows that you accept the cookies policy on the website. Then the next page is the underscore layout page. This Razor page is called the default master page. You can always change if you want to use another master page, but if you do not specify anything while creating a new Razor page, this will be treated as the master page. Of course, you can change the default master page to anything you want. Then we have the validation scripts partial. And here ASP.NET Core team has few of the JavaScript and jQuery validations for us, which we'll be using as we proceed throughout the video, but do not worry about this for now. Then we have the underscore views import.cshtml. Now with ASP.NET Core 2.0 onwards, we have tag helpers, and we will understand in details about tag helpers in just a while. But in the underscores view import, you can define that you want to include tag helpers in your application by adding this one line. This line will add tag helpers throughout the pages in your project. If for some reason you only want to use tag helpers for some pages, rather than defining here, you can also define them in the individual pages. But I prefer to do them at global level because tag helpers is something I use on almost every Razor page. And then the next file is underscore view start. And as discussed, underscore layout is the default master page. But if you want to change it to some other page, you can define that in the underscore view start file. So this was just an overview of Razor Pages and how they are organized inside the Pages folder. The structure they are organized here will depict the routing in Razor Pages, and we will take a look at them in the next video. Before we end this video, let's take a look at the next file here, which is appsettings.json. It contains all of the application settings like connection strings, logging settings, etc. We would be making those changes in the upcoming videos, but any changes to the app settings.json file will require restarting the Microsoft IIS administration service to take effect.